Yeah, I know I'm exposed, man, but they won't. Oh my God, you guys are watching this. Listen, I've been exposed. I'm a failure. I failed not once, not twice. I failed 3 times on Amazon. I know I'm the Amazon guru. I'm the former, founder and creator of the AMZ formula, but I failed multiple times. And I want to keep it fully transparent with you guys. The reason why I failed is because I tried this on my own. And the way that I learned how to sell on Amazon is through failure, is through trial and error. And in this video, I want to break down the 3 different products that I launched when I started and how they failed and why I would not launch them today, right? Number 1, like when I got started in 2014, 2015, these softwares weren't huge. Education wasn't huge. You didn't have all these gurus, right? And on top of that, I was poor. I was working for minimum wage, making $7.25 an hour, didn't have a computer, walked to the library to watch YouTube videos and read forums and blog sites. And that's how I learned. I had no money. I literally got started with my first product because my son Jeremiah was being born and my wife's boss gave us $200 in an envelope, a congratulations envelope. And I used that money plus everything I could sell, everything I could beg and borrow to get started with my first product. Now, my first product was I don't even remember what the thing was called. It was like this little pad thing that was sticky. And the thing was, you were supposed to be able to stick it to a wall and put your phone or your iPad on it to watch it, or put it on the dash of your car and put change on it, or put your phone on it, before all these other car accessories were available where they hold your phone. And it was primarily big and trending for your car, right? And that's the reason why I launched it, because it was trending. And that's the reason why it failed, because you do not want to launch a trending product. You want to be in this for the long term. You want to be able to make money for years to come. Like my products now have made me thousands and thousands of dollars like clockwork, 24/7, 365 for the last several years. And I didn't understand how to verify and validate if products were trending. I didn't understand how to do the research to find if products were trending or they were sustainable. So I talk about a multitude of ways that you can do this. One of the free and fast ways being utilizing Google Trends. Our software AMZ Hunter has this built in, super easy, super powerful, but you want to make sure your product is not trending, because the thing about a trend is, yeah, it's going up and it's cool, but nobody knows when it goes down, and what comes up must go down. All investors know that all volatility is bad, right? All fluctuations are bad because nobody knows if it's sustainable or not, right? So what happened is I launched this thing, I was just looking at it, it was cheap. I didn't have much money. These products were, I think, 15 cents and I was selling them for $9.99. I was just trying to get rich quick, and that's the problem. This is not a business for you to get rich quick. The problem is I launched these things, people were putting them on their dash, and what was happening is they were melting all over people's dashes and they couldn't get them up. And if you had a leather dash, it was like ruining people's cars, and I literally got my account shut down because I got so many bad reviews. Because your account rating and the amount of review ratio you have is important to your account. Like Amazon cares about their customers more than it does their sellers. I'm just gonna be 100% transparent. If you're going on there ripping people off or you're selling bullcrap products, you will not have a long career on Amazon. Number 2 is I got a little bit wiser, but I was still dumb because I didn't know better and I wasn't learning from someone. I was just getting all these little jigsaw puzzle pieces. And that's what I tell people, when you're trying to do this on your own, which you can, when you're getting all this different information all over YouTube and all over these different areas, you're literally taking jigsaw pieces and trying to build a puzzle, but getting them from different areas. And how many of you guys have ever built a puzzle and you were missing that piece and it drove you crazy because you couldn't complete the puzzle? That's what happens. Yeah, you can learn on your own, but it's gonna cost you more time and more money. I'm not even gonna get into that. But anyway, product number 2 was a USB car charger. Now this was around 2015, late 2015. And when the dual port car chargers were again, trending. I know, Josh, you're an idiot, but they came out with the 5.1 and I was like, oh, this is gonna be amazing. This thing's 3 inches big. It's super light. The shipping's gonna be nothing. The fulfillment's gonna be nothing. I'm buying these things for $1 and I'm selling them for $14.99, $15.99. I'm gonna crush it. And the problem is when I was sourcing these things, I was cheap. And the reason why I failed is, number 1, it was a super competitive, saturated niche. But back in 2015, you could have actually dominated if you knew what you were doing, which I had no idea what I was doing. But the biggest mistake that I made was I was beating my supplier to death on pricing. Every time I was talking to them, I was just negotiating. Like, we got to drive costs down. We got to drive costs down. I want you to understand that there's an old saying that you get what you pay for. And when it comes to manufacturing and sourcing, that is so true. And what I tell all of my students, I tell all of my clients, my methodology is WWAD. That's an acronym, WWAD. WWAD stands for what would Apple do? I would rather you spend more on your product to have your product be the best humanly possible and make that money up on the marketplace and from the consumers than try to beat your supplier to death. Because my supplier told me this, and I'll never forget this, as if it was yesterday. Josh, we want to keep you happy. We want a long-term relationship, but understand outside of like normal negotiation, the point that we come to, the price point that we come to, anything that product drops does not come from our company's profits. I'm like, huh? If it doesn't come from the company's profits, the manufacturer's profits, where the heck is the profit? Where's the difference in the price point coming from? Well, I'll tell you where. It's coming from the quality of your product. They will do anything and everything to keep you happy. But what they're not gonna do is not lose money. And you have to understand that suppliers and manufacturers, especially in India, Pakistan, China, all these major supplier hubs, they operate off of volume. You may think, yeah, they're just good negotiators. I'm a better negotiator. I'm gonna show them I'm the negotiating king, which I thought I was. It was like a game and it was addicting. I'm like, yeah, I got him down another 5 cents. Now watch, I'm gonna get him down another 10 cents. And I'm thinking I'm like the master negotiator, but what I'm doing is I'm making my product worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. So yes, negotiate, but do not beat them over the head, because what's gonna happen is you're gonna get a crappy product, you're gonna launch it to the marketplace like I did, you're gonna get a tons of complaints, tons of bad reviews, and you're gonna lose another account just like I did. You can't have a 1-star rating, you can't have a 2-star rating on Amazon, it's gonna be problems. When you're focusing on profits and not on customers, A, you're gonna lose. B, you're gonna lose, and C, you're gonna lose, because what's gonna happen is now you're gonna have one-night stands. Even if you don't have bad reviews, you're gonna have one-night stands, meaning they buy once, they never buy again. They buy once, they don't tell anybody. And B, you're not gonna build that raving fan base. So when you actually put effort, time, energy into your products, you're gonna have good products. People are going to love your products. I talk about Apple all the time. I am literally an ambassador for Apple. I love Apple. I own Apple stock. I own Apple computers. I own Apple headphones. I own Apple everything. I don't buy off-brand chargers. I love Apple. And Apple is so much more expensive than everything else, right? Like, I would buy Apple TVs if they had it. I have the Apple TV, but I would buy Apple TVs if they had it. And it's so much more expensive than everything else. But why? The customer experience, the customer journey, the quality of the products, just everything is better and you will pay for it. So I know this is a rant and this is a long story, but I want you guys to understand this so you don't have to waste time, you don't have to waste money, and you can start right on track, right? I want you guys to understand that, like, when you're starting this business, you want to be in this for the long run. You want to be on this for the long haul. You don't want to just get started and get slaughtered, because you're going to have a bad experience and you're going to give up. And that's why so many people fail, because they don't start, or they do start. And when they start, they don't start properly. They don't have guidance. And then they hit that objection. They lose money, and then they lose their patience, right? Number 3, and I got smarter. You'll see that I became educated with each and every failure, but I failed not once, not twice, but 3 times. The 3rd time that I failed, and by the way, I didn't have a software like AMZ Hunter. I didn't have a software like Jungle Scout. I was just like, what do people buy? What's lightweight? What's cheap? What can I afford? And that's how I found these products. So the 3rd product, this is when I started using Jungle Scout, and I've made a lot of money. I found a lot of winning products with Jungle Scout, found a ton of winning products with AMZ Hunter. But this is when I first started. I didn't know how to use the software. I didn't know what the heck I was doing. And I was just looking at revenue like, oh my God, they're making so much money. I didn't understand, again, how to gauge competition saturation. I didn't understand how many products that you had to order. I was just looking at how much money they were making. I was like, okay, cool, they're selling 10,000 units a month. That's cool. Let me just sell what I can afford. I didn't understand how this worked. And that 3rd product was a garlic press. I was like, what's something that I love that other people must love? Like, light bulb went off. Garlic. I love garlic. I put garlic on everything. Literally, if you can eat it, I put garlic on top of it. And I love minced garlic. And there is a garlic press. It's a stainless steel thing that you put cloves of garlic in, you like squeeze it, and it makes fresh minced garlic. Number 1, it tastes amazing. Number 2, it saves you money. I'm like, oh yes, this is solving a problem in garlic. I'm gonna dominate this space. So I went in there and I got slaughtered because it was saturated. And I started to get sales and then I ran out of stock. And then it took me 40 days to get into stock. And then I got back in stock and I bought a little bit more and I ran out of money on PPC and I ran out of stock and it just kept happening. I was like, okay, this is a roller coaster. And I almost gave up, right? So those first 3 products, my 4th product, by the way, made me a millionaire, right? I was dead broke at this time. I was living in a 1-bedroom apartment. Rent was $375. I was literally volunteering at Salvation Army for food because we had no food because all of my money went into my business. I was like, I'm gonna give it all. And if I lose it all, guess what? I'm right back where I am, which is where I suck. But I've got kids, I've got a wife, and I've got a duty to do the best that I can. So I failed, and every single time I failed, I want to give up. But guess what? The only way that you can fail in life, the only way that you can fail in business is by not starting or by giving up. So guess what? I started, and guess what? I didn't give up. And those 3 products, I failed consecutively. Now, many of you watching, first failure, you're out of there. Maybe second failure, you're out of there. You're like, okay, first failure, second, third one's got to be off. Third one, 3 strikes, you're out. I want you to understand that it is not about how, it is about when. And you may fail in the beginning, but understand that true failure is if you do not start and do not give up. That 4th product made me a millionaire. I netted $1 million in 12 months. So don't give up. And that's where the slogan from the AMZ formula came from. You're only one product away. And I want to tell you guys, and this isn't some sales pitch. I don't care if you buy my stuff or not, but I will tell you this. There's only 2 ways to learn anything and everything in the universe. Number 1, you learn through trial and effort. You learn through testing. You learn through building experience. Or number 2, you pay to shortcut your curve to success by buying someone else's knowledge and learning from their experience. For more content and videos like this, make sure that you turn all of the notifications on my Instagram account. That way you're notified of every video, post, and live Q&A that I do. Also, check out more videos on my YouTube channel at Joshua Crisp on YouTube. There's over 100 plus videos similar to this in all around entrepreneurship. And for 50% off all services as well as softwares that AMZ Hunter offers, make sure you check out www.amzhunter.com and use promo code HUNTER50.